very close to giving birth is when it's time to fill out the hospital file folder. If you've never given birth before, you might not know, but the hospital gives you a ton of paperwork after you give birth. You receive a ton of paperwork in your baby's first year of life. This is hands down one of my favorite things I've brought to the hospital every single time I've given birth, and I will show you. This will be my third baby. This is my first baby's file folder from the hospital, and this is my second baby's file folder from the hospital. Clearly, it's a must-have for me, and we've definitely utilized them. So we're making our third one. A bunch of different labels that I put on the top here, so I'll run through those. I will not lie, I am type A, so this makes my brain feel very calm, especially in the process and the chaos that is giving birth. Starting with the very first tab, we have birth certificate and social security number. I don't know if this is different in other states, but in Arizona, you do not get the birth certificate at the hospital. Obviously, the social security card comes in the mail after birth, but we do not receive the birth certificate in the hospital. You actually have to apply for the birth certificate after the baby is born. Next, we have a pediatrician. In the first year of your baby's life, your baby's gonna go to the pediatrician quite often. So any paperwork that we get from the pediatrician, we just put in here. Then we have insurance. We'll put all of our insurance information in here for baby and mom, especially for the hospital, as well as any paperwork that we get from the hospital that we need to report to our insurance. If you've ever given birth, you know that insurance is literally a nightmare. Anytime I have to do anything with insurance, I feel like I'm searching for a million papers, absolutely. Not only do I love this for the hospital, but post-hospital. Next, we have records. Any medical information pertaining to your baby, I'll put in here. At the hospital, they'll give you an immunization record booklet, and then they'll also do a newborn screening, so all that paperwork will go in here. Keepsakes. This is actually one of my favorites because at the hospital, they'll do like little footprints of the baby's feet and hands. Beanies, hospital bracelets, all of those things I will keep in keepsakes. In both keys and camps, I have our hospital bracelets, their hospital bracelet, as well as my hospital bracelet and some little beanies. Look at how tiny this hospital bracelet is that went on his wrist. It might have been his wrist or his ankle, I can't remember, but I cannot believe that my baby's ankle was that small at a time. This is just like so fun to have. Manuals, believe it or not, the hospital does send you home with a ton of different manuals. They're not always something that you necessarily keep. However, it's nice to have a place for them while you're there. When you're checking out of the hospital, you're carrying blankets, pillows, suitcases, all these different things. The last thing you want to be juggling is paperwork. Lastly, we have miscellaneous. So any kind of paperwork that doesn't have a home or go with any of these tabs, we're going to put in there. Is the final file folder that we'll be bringing to the hospital for baby number 3. Once he's born, I will put like his name and date of birth on here. I actually need to label the other 2 boys, so while I'm doing that, I will do theirs. To note, this is so convenient, especially for my husband, because when you're at the hospital, your man is the one who's going to be dealing with all the paperwork, not you, because you're giving birth and taking care of the baby. The last thing you want to do when you get home from the hospital is be like, you lost all of our paperwork. So this is super convenient for them to know where everything goes. Like I said, we use this file folder pretty much in the first full year of their life, and it's just so nice to have a place for each child's paperwork. You can buy a file folder absolutely anywhere. You don't have to use a labeler. This just makes my brain feel better because I would freak out if my handwriting wasn't absolutely perfect on these labels. Let me know if you're a mom, if this is something that you did and you were happy that you did. And then if you're someone who's like, that is a complete waste of money, you do not need to bring a file folder with a bunch of different labels. I won't lie though, they've gone to pretty good use with our other 2 boys. So to me, I think it is totally worth it. We're adding a 3rd little blue one. I can't believe it.